Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Maharishi Yajnavalkya, one of the greatest sages I know of, the first spiritual scientist and compiler to the best of my knowledge. My dharma, the impeccable wisdom. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect object of the universe are designed and created. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, Akhand Vidya wisdom is empowering. With the light of Akhandata and Divyank, we are going to look at the life of Sri Yajnavalkya, one of the greatest sages of ancient India, and I'm surprised that he is not known to the extent he should have been known. And let us understand what are his contributions, for which I consider him one of the greatest contributed to the knowledge which I am talking about. I see a lot of similarity between his life and my life. Maybe because of his nature, he could do something without any problem as an impeccable wisdom. And same thing I have been doing as a stubborn person, thinking of impeccable wisdom and come to realize that unless until you are like a dictator working only one concept, rising, rising and rising, you will not be able to give to the world what world deserves it. Let us not play with the words of knowledge. Let's talk of something which is impeccable, flawless from core to the last. And what is the contribution of Yajnavalkya in that particular concept, where he life stands out as one of the greatest sages of the world. I won't say India. His contribution is phenomenal. His knowledge has not been translated because it's beyond common man's apprehension, understanding, and reach. Now that I've been able, in the light of Divyanka, I'm able to understand him better, and some of those concepts which have not been understood, but his contribution is greatest. Let's discuss about that. Yajnavalkya was born in Jagwant, Mithila district of Bihar, Bharat. He was born in the month of Phagun, which is around February and March, which could be called the last month of the calendar. He failed, and interesting enough, he was one person who represented ancient Indian Gurukul system. There will be a discussion between the teacher and student, and both will be like lions. They will fight. What is interesting, Yajnavalkya's teacher was Udhalka Aruni, and he would fail him in every discussion, and the discussion would go to the level which was unheard of. And that is the level of discussion which I want Akhand Vidyashram to have. Learn the art of neti neti, not this, not this, not this. What is the one finally which cannot be stopped, that is defective? Reach that level. I think Yajnavalkya reached that level. Yajnavalkya showed it that he could beat any teacher. There's nothing wrong in student being better than teacher. I expect my student to be better than me because they have learned from me and they can add something more over a period, and that should be the attitude of a good teacher. He was also pupil of a teacher, Vesamparina. Vesamparina was another very good teacher. He learned quite a lot, but with him also he had discussions in debate, and so much so that he got annoyed with him. He said, no, whatever I taught you, you should forget about it, you vomit it off. And that what he vomited off was later realized that he has taken this knowledge to much higher level than what Vaisapayana had told him. And finally, what he learned, Vaisapayana told his other students, please go and learn it from Yajnavalkya because he is perfect to the core, beyond anything, and you cannot find fault with it. And this is also something which I am going to show with evidence how beautiful is the work of Yajnavalkya. And also, like me, I do not believe in any guru, spiritual guru or any guru for me. I call them my teachers. They are teaching me, sharing their knowledge. But they are not able to answer my question to the best of my ability, which I can understand in the light of mathematics, science, and to the perfection. Similarly, I find Yajnavalkya also did not believe in guru. He thought his guru is within himself, And as a result, he became a direct follower of Aditya, the sun. And I can totally understand because Aditi, which is my internal guru, comes from Aditya. I have already explained. Then Aditya revealed, Surya revealed Shukla Yajurpati to Yajnavalkya. He could understand it better directly from God, Sun God, the presiding deity, our solar system, knows everything. He is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, and you can learn. I have learned much more from Sun than I've learned from any other planet in the world, any other organization. If I have to live it as a first physicalized thing, for me it is Sun, Sun, and Sun alone. That is one part. That also he expounded the wisdom of Neti Neti as not this, not this, not this, and did not stop short till you find this is absolute wisdom which cannot be countered by anybody. And if there is some sage who has gone to that level and given the world, it is Yajnavalkya. He was a metaphysical philosopher, thinker, scientist to the core. He worked on Shukla Yajurveda, which is bright side of Yajurveda. That was his focus, and his all knowledge comes from there. But I would call him as a spiritual scientist, not a ritualistic, not Yajna from that point of view. But he made all the symbols, everything for everyone, based on the mathematics, which was the highest of that particular nature. That example also I'm going to give it in this particular thing. He also compiled Brahd Aranyaka Upanishad after leaving his wife and then compiling all the information into that. That is one of the greatest Upanishads I have known of. The kind of wisdom there is beyond any doubt, perfection to the core. So, and people also talk that he talked about Traitreya Upanishad, and I don't have any objection to that, because what is in Traitreya Upanishad is talking about 7 koshas within the body, and what is much more precise, concise than other things which I have known of. And also he is a compiler. Isha Upanishad is also, there is nothing wrong in it, although I haven't got worked on it to the extent that I can authenticate it, but maybe later I will do it. But what is more important, today every word is talking, has some fault again under Manu Smriti. Manu Smriti has been given, which was the first thing in the beginning. I do agree, it's a beautiful work, but there are certain things which people from different religions or different concepts or different castes do not agree, because they have not been able to understand the original Sanskrit version. They are looking at translation which has been definitely done by people to spoil it. But if somebody has to ask me between the Manusmriti and Yajnavalkya Smriti, I would take Yajnavalkya much more place, which is absolutely free from all the comprehensions. Here, importance is given to women more than importance given to men alone. As I say, I have learned much more from Shakti than I have learned from Shaktas. Shaktas I have learned on my own. But other side of it, 61.8%, I have learned from women. Actually, they become Pujaniya women, worshipper. And I see the same concept in Yajnavalkya. From that angle, now let's take it to the level which people can understand what exactly Yajnavalkya did it. Now, like me, my guru is Saraswati. That's why I call Vidya Vidati Vinyam Vinyat Yati Patatam Patatam Chedhanam Dharam Sukham. That is a sense of education which Goddess Saraswati gives it to me. But also in this picture you can see the Om behind Saraswati. That means the knowledge of Om, the music, was also given by Saraswati, and that is also like 22/7 for me. Pi is a one concept, very clear. Saraswati is the knowledge. He was straightaway taking knowledge from Goddess Saraswati, not from anyone else. But being a follower of Shakti, follower of Saraswati, he got all what he had. The picture down is his compilation to Aditya, and Aditya revealed everything to him directly. That means his Atma is talking about. He's not talking Aditya alone, he's talking about Aditi. And that is something which I find it amazing, because I've been able to understand what Vedas say. Aditi is the mother of Daksha and also the daughter of Daksha. And also Upanishads say Aditi is the mother of Aditya and daughter of Aditya. I've already explained. And I think this is a concept which is there in Upanishads and Vedas, which make us one in tune with universal consciousness, particularly Surya, the presiding deity of solar system for which we are part, and that is what has taught me that 22 by 21 is a part of our solar system. Solar system is made of 21 parts, and to go beyond to have 20 is very clear. I have already explained. Now this particular thing that Aditya is the Guru, even Chandogya Upanishad says, if Nirankar Nirgun Brahman is before the creation, but Sakar, which we can see and learn so much, is the teacher of the world, is Aditya Brahmate Adesha. Yehi it is. And that is what anyone who looks up to Aditya and follows Aditya to the core, that person would know how to lead his life in a yoga way. From that angle, another one of the very important work of Yajnavalkya is a yoga itself. And Surya Namaskar, 12 steps, could also be attributed to him. Then Yajnavalkya was also married to Katyani, the daughter of sage Katyana, a master in grammar and mathematics. She was dedicated householder only. You can see her in the green on the backside, sitting close, listening to what he was doing. But later Maitri approached him for marriage, for learning and mastering soul consciousness. And you can see her in front, sitting, having dialogue with him. And one of the best things which he answered to Maitri, how to realize the self. And the answer is said, know your Atma. Learn everything Atma. Do everything for Atma. Don't do for anybody else. Be perfect from core. Have Sampurnata. And you will be on with universal consciousness. The first concept that you should be focused on your Atma. And from there you look at the second word incomplete, you'll have the knowledge. But Atma is going to give you the knowledge within the body, is what he taught to Maitri, and no wonder Maitri is considered one of the greatest sages in the world, well respected, well regarded. And Katyani is also well known for her reason. There is one particular incident which most of people do not admire in me, nor do people admire in Yajnavalkya during his period. Both of us look to be very stubborn. If we have the knowledge, we should have the courage, the conviction that I can say this is what it is, nothing else. Then go through the dialogue. Even today, I would say, I'm prepared to have a dialogue with all the scientists, mathematicians, philosophers of the world, one and on, with the honesty that it is going to be honest, based on conclusive mathematics, conclusive divine design, not on man-made concepts. And same thing was there. And to prove that point, King Janak was during Ramayana period. He is the father of Sita, who's married to Rama. We had a convocation like our congresses, conferences, usuals otherwise. He was invited along with all the Brahmins to have a discussion on soul consciousness. As he entered to have a discussion, and what happened? King had awarded 1,001 cows for the person who wins. As he enters, he tells his disciples, take all the 1,001 cows, go home, I'll have a discussion, I'll come back home later. Everybody got annoyed with him. How could you say, tell your disciples you take all the cows, I'll come there when the discussion has not even started? And as I've been saying, if you are filled with the conviction of Divyank, you can do that. If you have that, if it is perfect, it's in tune with universal consciousness, and you have the conviction, you have the evidence, I think you should put your foot down and no. None of you know it. And that is something which makes me also stubborn, makes him stubborn, and I would like stubborn, autocratic people only can do wonders. Because the world by and large does not have the thinking power to do. They are divided by likes and dislikes. Where we need someone who's totally in with universal consciousness, who is good of everybody, who's a Vishwaguru. And that is what Sanatana Dharma is talking about. And that is what Yajnavalkya was. Then the discussion started, it's okay. All the Brahmins were there, discussion started. At the end of it, everybody agreed that he is the greatest. There's no doubt about it, and he's one. And that is what this particular picture is all about. You can see the cows on the left side down. You can see sitting. You can see Janak also. You can see the other Brahmins, audience, and other thing. You can see my Gargi also in this particular picture. And Gargi is another concept, another person who's considered to be very intelligent. And discussion with Yajnavalkya is something recorded in Brihad Upanishad, which is super to the core. Now let's go to. Now, Yajnavalkya and Gargi discussion is very clear. Once he wins over everybody else, she comes, okay, now you have won, I agree. Now you answer my question with respect to soul consciousness. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? That dialogue between Gargi and Yajnavalkya is one of the greatest things in Brihad Upanishad. And she starts raising so high that it increases your Kundalini, your Shakti, you call it, your consciousness high, which leads to the brain's energy quite a lot. When stage comes, when discussion came, she agreed to everything what he said, everybody agreed. And then he said, please stop, no more discussion. If you continue to have discussion, your brain will break because you don't have the capacity to go to that level of understanding because you are fresh. You can raise questions, but you are raising questions, very good. But going further, your energy in your brain is decreasing. And that is what I would say, he was the greatest scientist. He knew what kind of energy she is having, what energy she can take, what she cannot take. And that is what the intuitive wisdom is all about. That was there in Yajnavalkya, and that's the discussion. That is what I want everybody to understand. What he did with Katyani, what he did with Maitri, what he did with Gargi, and gave respect to them, have a discussion of the highest order, answer every question honestly. Everybody was satisfied. That's the beauty of Yajnavalkya. That's why I consider he is a real scientist. He is not the one, okay, do it. No, we'll have a discussion. We'll find it out. And that's it. And that's exactly what I have come to learn from my childhood. What I've been taught from school, college to the universities in different books throughout the world is defective. And what is right, I have been able to talk about. The same thing, Yajnavalkya and Gargi's discussion is about cosmic conversations. How the God came, how things were formed, and that is one of the best things which I'm also talking about. I think Yajnavalkya ji has helped me to understand concept much better than any other book. Ved says before the creation there was darkness, there was tamas, but he calls it something which let us discuss. Now, before I go to that, and last video I talked about what is in Ayodhya, the Shila which is found, and what it is I have already explained, but just for a picture reminder that pi and Pythagorean theorem were taken from that just for that. And how that particular thought has helped me to make deviant sequence using Pythagorean theorem, and pi's concept is this picture I've already spoken about. And based on that, I've been able to discover and show the world that particular symbol, which was there from the dug part of the Ram Janmabhoomi, was a phenomenal, full mathematics, and that I've already explained. And I believe this was originally designed by Yajnavalkya ji alone. And what we have today is a remnant of that, which many other people have done. From that, the kind of wisdom in this is phenomenal. So I would say symbolic language, mythological language, every language, all the 64 art he was very, very good at. And this concept that 1 by 7 should be 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7 only 6 numbers, nothing more than that. I have already explained the last one. It's just a reminder that 1 by 7 is very, very important number. Now, subtle, we have 5 koshas outside, which I have already explained. Traitreya Upanishad, which is attributed to him, he says there's 7 parts. Annamay Kosh, Pranamay Kosh, Manamay Kosh, Vijnanmay Kosh, Anandmay Kosh. Then there is him, there is Atma within that. Once he is able to 7 things inside, you are close to the truth, and that is Traitreya Upanishad. That could be the one reason why it is dedicated to him, because what he brought out from inside out was much more perfect than what people had done with the external consciousness. This is the deeper meaning of that concept, and I appreciate the kind of thinking they had. Now, another thing which I believe is greatest contribution, which has something to do with this, and that is Purnamidha, Purnamidham, Purna Purnasya, Purnase Purnam Adhitya, Purnam Eva Vaisyaste. Then everything is complete in itself, it comes out of it, lives in outside, and remains it like that, is the greatest statement. And I have taken it to account, which is as good as Purnam, but integration of all the Purnam together is one part which I am trying to talk about. Now, before the creation, if the Rigveda is talking about the Andhakar, it is talking about Mrityu. It was dark, and I would say that was neon one alone. And this is another dialogue which I think Astosma Sadgamya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamya, Mrityuma Gam. That means take us from, lead me from untruth to the truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality, is something which he spoke to the world. And that is inner consciousness. That has to be done. That is the greatest symbolic representation in mantra forma, which is attributed to him alone. And all that put together, I'm able to show in this particular picture. And many people even say 7 chakras, external 7 consciousness levels, is attributed to Yajnavalkya. And I have taken it to 10 to do the thing. I think I've been able to add few more things which may not have been possible at this particular, because we did not have the kind of, maybe it is there in the scriptures which we are not able to decode. But with the help of modern science, new equipments, new mathematical designs, I've been able to do that and give the world Divyank as a 10 stages of development plus 3, 4, 4. And then 22 by 21 is attributed to him. I think that has been one of the greatest things. Anyway, that should be enough for the time being. Thank you very